Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventures, piteous overthrows, doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which, but their children's end, naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals.
No, then we should be coal ears.
I mean, and in Kohler will draw.
And while you live, draw your neck out of the collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of the Montagues moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runst away.
A dog of that house moves me. I will push any man or maiden of the house of the Montagues to the wall.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
'Tis true, and women, being the weaker vessel, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push the men away from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall.
The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men.
'Tis true. I will show myself a tyrant, and when I am done with the men, I will be civil with the maidens. I will cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
The heads of the maids. Or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it and sense that feeling.
Me they shall feel while I'm against it. 'Tis known, I am a pretty piece of flesh.
Draw thy tool. Here comes one of the house of Montagues.
Quarrel, I will back thee.
I will frown as I pass by him and take it as he is.
I will bite my thumb at him, which is a disgrace to him, if he bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
Is the law on our side if I say I?
No.
I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
But if you do, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir. You lie. Draw, if you be man!
What, fools? Put up your swords. You know not what you do. What? Drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death. I would keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage to depart these men with me. Drawn and talk of peace. I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at me, coward.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel. Will they not hear? What hell? You men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture, from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground. And hear the sentence of your Muved prince. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon, to know our further pleasure in this case. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Who set this ancient quarrel new abroach? Speak, nephew, Were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours, close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared.
Where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
An hour before the worship sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad where, underneath the grove of sycamore, that westward rooteth from the city side. So early walking did I see your son.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. Dark and pretentious must his humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble aunt, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of it.
See where he comes, so please you step aside. I'll know his grievance or be much denied. Good morrow, cuz.
Is the day so young?
At new strike 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my mother that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I've heard it all. There's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything of nothing first create, whether of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep that is not what it is. This love I feel that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz. I rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why? Such is love's transgression. Love is a smoke raised with the fumes of sighs, being purged of fire sparkling in lover's eyes, and being vexed, a sea nourished with lover's tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall and preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz.
Soft, I will go along, but if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me, in sadness, who is it that you love?
What, shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan? Why no, but sadly tell me who.
Bid a sick man in sadness make his will, a word ill-urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aim so near when I suppose you loved.
A right good marksman, and she's fair, I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit and strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak, childish bow she lives unharmed. She'll not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bide the encounter of assailing eyes, nor hope her lap to saint seducing gold. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor, that when she dies with beauty dies her store.
Then she has sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead, that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite question more. What doth but her beauty serve but as a note, where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell, thou cannot teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
Good on, good fellow.
Good eye, Goodine. I pray, sir, can you read?
Aye, mine own fortune and my misery.
But can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
You say honestly. Rest you, Mary.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, Countess Eslame and his beauteous sisters, the Lady Widow Vertuvia, my fair niece Rosaline. And Livia, Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt, Lucia and lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
To our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great, rich Capulet. And if you not be of the house of the Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you, Mary.
At the same ancient feast of Capulet sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so loves, with all admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with an untainted eye compare her face with some that I will show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
I'll go along, but no such sight to be shown. But to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
But Montague is bound as well as I, and penalty alike, and 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and 'tis a pity you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in this world. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. Earth hath swallowed all my hopes, but she's the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart, and my will to her consent is but a part. And she agreed within the scope of choice, lies my consent in fair according voice. This night I hold an accustomed feast, whereto I've invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store. One more most welcome makes my number more. At my poor house look to behold this night, earth-treading stars that make the dark heaven light, like hers most whose merit most shall be. Come go with me.
Nurse, where is my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now by my maidenhead at 12-year-old I bade her come. What lamb? What lady bird? God forbid, where is this girl? Juliet!
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
Oh, madam, I am here. What is your will? Madam, what is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou hears our counsel. Thou know'st my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned, I never should forget it, of all the days of the year upon that day. For then she could stand hallowed. Nay, by Thrud, she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before she broke her brow. Oh, and then my husband, God be with his soul, he was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backwards when thou hast more weight. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holiday, the pretty wretch left crying and said, I. To think now how a jest should come about. I warrant, and I should live 1,000 years, I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel? Quoth he. And, pretty fool, it stinted and said, Oh.
Enough of this. I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. Yet I cannot choose but laugh to think it should leave crying and say, I. And yet, I warrant, it had upon its brow a bump as big as a young cockerel stone, a perilous neck, and it cried bitterly. Yea, quoth my husband, first upon thy face. Thou wilt fall backwards when thou comest to age, wilt thou not, Jewel? It stinted, it said, I.
And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace, I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou were the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and that I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary! That's Mary is the very theme I came to speak of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor? Were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou hast sucked wisdom from my teat.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Man, young lady. Lady, such a man as all the world, why, he is a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. So shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less. Nay, bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like a Paris, love?
I'll look to like if looking like you move, but no more deep will I dart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girls, seek happy nights to happy days.
What speech we spoke for our excuse, or shall we on without apology?
The date is out of such prolixity. We'll have no Cupid hoodwinked with the scarf, nor no without book prologue, faintly spoke after the prompter for our entrance. But let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure and begin.
A torch for me. I'm not for the sampling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar above a common bound.
And to soar and pierce with his shaft, to soar with his light feather. And so bound I cannot bound the pitch above dull woe. Their love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you be loved down. Give me a case to put my visage in. A visor for a visor. What care I what curious eye doth quote deformities? Here are the beetle brows shall blush for me.
Come, knock and enter, and no sooner in, but every man betake him to his legs. Right? Okay.
A torch for me. Let wantons light of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels, for I am proverb with a grand shire phrase. I'll be the torch holder and look on. The game was near so fair, and I am done.
Touch duns the mouse, the constable's own word. If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire, or save your reverence, love, wherein thou stickest up to the ears.
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay we waste our light, like lamps by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 5 times in that air once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mesquite, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
What was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mad hath been with you. Oh, why, she is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spider's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, her traces of the smallest spider's web. Her collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film. Her wagoner a small gray coated gnat not half so big as a round little worm pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub. time out of mind, the fairies' coachmakers. And in this state she gallops, night by night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. On courtiers' knees, who dream on curtsies straight, or ladies' lips, who straight on kisses dream. Sometimes she gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a shoot. Sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches, emboscados, Spanish blades, of health 5 fathom deep, and then anon drums in his ear, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frightened, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that very mad that plats the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf locks in foul sluttish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace! Peace. Peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkest of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of, nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air and more inconstant than the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his side to the dew-dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives. Some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast. But he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail, on, lusty gentlemen.
Strike drum!
Welcome, gentlemen! Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will walk about with you. My mistresses, which of you all now tonight to dance? She that makes dainty, she elsewhere hath corns. I come near you now. Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, as such would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play, a hall, give room. Hand-footed girls, more light, you knaves, and turn the tables up. Ah, sirrah, this unlooked-for sport comes well. Nay, sit, good cousin Capulet, for you and I are past our dancing days. How long is it now, alas, since yourself and I were in a mask?
What lady's that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers makes blessed my rude hand. Is my heart loved till now? Forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague. What dares the slave? Come hither covered with an antic face, to flock and scorn at our solemnity. Now, by the stock and honor of our kin, to strike him dead I hold it not a sin. Why, how now, kinsman, wherefore storm you so? Uncle, 'tis a Montague our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite, to scorn at our solemnity this night. Young Romeo, is it? 'Tis he, that villain Romeo. Content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman. And to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all this town here in my house do his disparagement. Therefore, be patient, take no note of him. It is my will, the which if thou respect, show a fair presence and put off these frowns, an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast. It fits when such a villain is a guest. I will not endure him. He shall be endured. Am I the master here or you? Go to! You shall not endure him. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. Why, uncle? 'Tis a shame. Go to, be quiet, or more light. For shame, I'll make you quiet. I will withdraw, but this intrusion, now seeming sweet, shall convert to bitterest gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims ready stand, to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saint lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim lips that they must use in prayer.
Well then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do, they pray. Grant thou, lest fate turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Move not, my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by thine my sin is purged.
And have my lips the sins that they have took.
Sin from my lips, O trespass sweetly urge, give me my sin again.
Kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is a mother?
Mary Bachelor, her mother, is the lady of the house. And a good lady. And wise, virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked with all. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chicks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh dear, I count my life in my foe's debt.
Hey, be gone. The sport's not the best.
Aye, so I fear. The more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Is it even so? Why then, I thank you. I thank you all, honest gentlemen. Good night. Ah, sirrah. By my fate, waxes late. All to my rest.
Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman?
The son and heir of old Tiberio.
What's he that follows that would not dance?
I know not.
Go, ask his name if he be married. My grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and the Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
Juliet!
Anon. Come, let's away. The strangers are all gone.
I go forward when my heart is here. Turn back, dull earth, and find thy sin throughout.
Romeo! Romeo, my cousin, Romeo!
He is wise, and on my life hath stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and leapt this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. O Romeo, humors, madman, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Say but one rhyme and I am satisfied. Cry but, ay me. Pronounce but love and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus a fair word. He heareth not. He stirreth not. He moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the domains there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress' circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand till she had laid it and conjured it down. That were some spite. My invocation was fair and honest. In his mistress' name I conjure only but to raise up him.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees, to be consorted with the humorous night. Wait, blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Oh, Romeo, good night. Out to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here, which means not to be found.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks! It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and pale with grief, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. This is my love. That she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer. No, I am too bold. It is not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all of heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes, and twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? Oh, the brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. And in heaven her eye would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon that hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head as a winged messenger of heaven, unto the white upturned wandering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him as he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor arm, nor foot, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened tonight so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I written it, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb. In what place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here?
By love's light wings that I approach these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can do, that dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes, but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than prorogued wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
Thy love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I am no pilot, yet wert thou as far as the vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I should adventure for such merchandise.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell in form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word, but if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false. At lovers' perjuries, they say, Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but not else for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behavior light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardest ere I was ware my true love's passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I vow, that tips with silver all these fruit-chapped trees.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Oh, do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt swear, swear but by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
My heart's dear love.
Oh, well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be, ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night. This bud of love, thy summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, good night. A sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would for to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
Oh, but to be frank and give it thee again. And yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Juliet!
I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed night, I am afeard. Being in night, all this is but a dream, too flattering, sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon, but if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
By and by I come, to seize thy suit and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes towards love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure a tassel gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse and may not speak aloud, else would I tear the cave where echo lies with repetitions of my Romeo.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet the sound of lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo,
My dear,
what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 year till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
Yet I would forget, but to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no farther than a wanton's bird that lets it hop a little from his hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silken thread plucks it back again, so loving, jealous of his liberty.
Would I were thy bird.
Oh, sweet, so would I. Yet I would kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I must say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep, dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were asleep in peace, so sweet to rest. Hence, I will go to my ghostly friar's close cell, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell.
Gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of lights, and fleckled darkness like a drunkard reels from forth day's path and Titan's fiery wheels. Now ere the sun advance his burning eye with days to cheer and nights dank dew to dry. I must upfill the osier cage of hours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. O mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, stones, and their true qualities. For not so vile that on the earth doth love, but on the earth some special good doth give. Virtue itself turns vice being misapplied, and vice sometime by action dignified. Within the infant rind of this weak flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in man as well as herbs, grace and rude will. Where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant.
Good morrow, Father.
Oh, benedicite, what early tongue so sweet salute me. Oh, good son, it argues a distempered head, so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch in every old man's eye, and where care lodges sleep will never lie, but where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth couch their limbs, their golden sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou hast aroused with some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last was true, the sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin! Was thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father. No. I forgot that name's and that name's woes.
Oh, that's my good son. Where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou ask it me again, I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me that's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help, and holy physic lies.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. Is mine on hers and hers on mine, and all combined save what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed, we made the exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today?
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is thy love for dear Rosaline so soon forsaken? Young men's love lies then not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy shallow cheeks, for Rosaline, lo here upon thy cheek a stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet.
Thou chides me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And dost me bury love?
Not in a grave lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, chide me not, her I love now. Doth grace for grace and love for love allow? The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well. Thy love did read by rote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me, in one respect to all thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slowly they stumble that run fast.
Where the devil is this Romeo? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman to old Capulet, has sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on thy life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master. How he dares being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead. Stabbed with the white wench's black eye, run through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart, cleft with the blind bow boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats. Oh, he's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeping time, distance, and proportion. He counts his minim rests. 2. And the 3rd, in your bosom! The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist, a gentleman of the very first house of the first and second cause. Ah, the immortal Passado, the Punto Reverso, the hey!
The what?
The packs of such antic, lisping, affecting fantasticos!
Here comes Romeo, here comes Romeo.
Without his roe, like a dried herring. Oh, flesh, flesh, how art thou? Fishified. Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slap. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great. And in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much as to say such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hand.
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why then is my pump well flowered?
Sure, wit, follow me this just now till thou hast worn out thy pump. That when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain. After the wearing, solely singular.
A singularly sold jest, singular for the singleness.
Oh, good Benvolio, stand between us. My wits faint. Why, is this not better than groaning for love? Now art thou social, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature. For this driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his blobble in a hole.
Stop there, stop there.
Goodly gear, a sail, a sail.
Two, a shirt and a smock.
Good morrow, gentlemen.
Good evening, gentlewoman.
Is it good eve?
'Tis so, I tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you, what a man are you?
One, gentlewoman, that God hath made himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
Aye, I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name for fault of a worse.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you. She will invite him to some supper.
Oh, abad, so ho!
Oh, Romeo, to your father's place, will to dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell.
I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this?
A gentleman, good nurse, who loves to hear himself talk and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And he speak anything against me, and I'll take him down.
And he were lessier than he is 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I will find those that shall. Scurvy knave!
Pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bid me inquire you out. What she bid me say, I will keep to myself. But first, if you should lead her in a fool's
paradise, as they say, for it is a very gross kind of behavior, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young, and if you should deal double with her, it is an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good heart, and in faith I will tell her as much. Lord, Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there, at Friar Lawrence's cell, she shall be shrived and married. Here's for thy pains.
No, truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir? She will be there.
Within an hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee a cord made like a tackled stair, which to thy top-gallant of my joy must be my convoy to this night. Farewell. Be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy lady and mistress.
Now God in heaven bless thee.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. Oh, that's not so. Ah! She's lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glides than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind-swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 to 12 is 3 long hours, yet she has not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, heavy, slow, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Now, good, sweet nurse. O Lord, why lookest thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell it merrily. If good thou shamest the music with sweet news, with so sour a face.
I am a-weary. Give leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunt have I.
I would thou hast my bones, and I thy news. Good nurse, I pray thee, speak.
Jesus, what haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast the breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to pick a man. Romeo? No, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, and his leg exceeds all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go, serve thy ways, wench, serve God. What have you dined at home?
No, but all this I did know before. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, what says my love?
How my head aches? What a head have I? It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a wise, and a handsome, and, I warrant, a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
You're such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Do you have leave to go to Shrift today?
I have.
Then are you hence to Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be scarlet straight at any news. Aye, you to church. I must another way, to fetch a ladder by which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you should bear the burden soon at night. Go all to dinner, I to your cell.
I to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen, but what sorrow can? It cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands in holy marriage, and let love devouring death do what he dare. It is enough, I may, to call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss, consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, and the taste confounds thy appetite. Therefore love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady. Oh, so light a foot will ne'er wear the everlasting flint. The lovers may bestride the gossamers that idle in the wanton summer air and not fall, so light is vanity.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else is his thanks too much.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, then let the scale be more to blazon it. Sweeten with thy breath this rich neighbor air, and rich music's tongues enfold the imagined happiness that either or both must feel in this dear encounter.
Conceit more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth, but my true love has grown to such excess I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work, for by your leaves you shall not be left alone until Holy Church incorporates two in one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that, when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God, send me no need of thee. And by operation of the second cup, draws him on the drawer when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, thou art as hot a jack as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what too?
Nay, and there were two such. Woo! We should have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street because he hath wakened thy dog that hath lain asleep in the sun. And yet thou wilt tutor me for quarreling.
And I were so apt to quarrel as thou art, any man to buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
The fee simple. Oh, the fee simple.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
Oh, by my heel, I care not.
Gentlemen, Goodine, a word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough for that. And you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion with giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort? What, dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us. Look to here, nothing but discords. Oh, here is my fiddlestick. Here is that shall make you dance. Zounds! Consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw unto some private place, or reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I'll budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if he'll wear your livery. Marry, go to field, and he'll be your follower. Your worship in that sense may call him man.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no greater term than this. Thou art a villain!
Sybil, the reason I much love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain I am none, therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, that does not excuse the injuries thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw!
I do protest, I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou can devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender, as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Tybalt, you rat catcher. Will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats. Nothing but one of your 9 wives, which I mean to take bold withal. And as you shall use me hereafter, dry beat the rest of the 8.
I am for you.
Draw up and Romeo beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. The prince expressly hath forbid this bandying in Rhoda streets. Hold, Tybalt, good Mercutio. You...
I am hurt. A plague or both your houses, I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
Aye. A scratch. Marry, 'tis enough.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
Nay, 'tis not so deep as a well, and not so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am peppered. I warrant for this world. Oh, a plague o'er both your houses. Zounds, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a man to death. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me to some housemen, Romeo, or I will faint. Oh, plague on both your houses. You've made worms meat of me. It has me and soundly too. Your houses!
This gentleman, the near prince's ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt on my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt in an hour hath been my cousin.
Romeo, brave Mercutio is dead.
This day's black fate on more days depend. This but begins the woes others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph for Mercutio slain. Away to heaven with respective lenity. Fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now Tybalt, take thee villain back again. The late thou gavest me for Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, waiting for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I or both must go with him.
You wretched boy that didst consort him here, shout with him hence!
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away, begone! The citizens are up and Tybalt slain! Stand not amazed, the prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence, begone, away!
I unfortunate fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all, the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. Here lies the man, slain by young Romeo, that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt! My cousin! Oh, my brother's child! Oh, prince! Oh, cousin! Husband! Oh, the blood is shed of my dear kinsman. Prince,
as thou art true, for blood of ours shed blood of Montague! Oh, cousin!
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, you're slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo that spoke him fair, with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truth with the unruly spleen of Tybalt, deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who, all is hot, turns deadly, point to point, and with a martial scorn, with one hand beats cold death aside, and with the other sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cried aloud, hold friends, friends part, and swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, and two they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them, was Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio, who now the price of his dear blood doth owe.
Not Romeo, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fall concludes, but with the law should end the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your heart's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore, use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he is found, that hour shall be his last. Bear hence this body, and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, toward Phoebus' lodging. Such a Wagner's fate, and would whip you to the west, and bring cloudy night immediately. Oh, spread thy close curtain, love, performing night, that runaway's eyes may wind, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers may do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and teach me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Come, night, come, Romeo, come, thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Come, gentle knight, come, loving black-browed knight, give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of love, but not yet possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. So tedious is this day as is the night before some festival to an impatient child who hath new robes but may not wear them. Here comes my nurse, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? Me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Well, a day. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. We are undone, lady. We are undone. Alack the day. He's gone. He's killed. He's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Romeo. Whoever would have thought it? Romeo!
What devil art thou that dost torment me thus? If he be slain, say aye, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine my weal or my woe.
I I saw the wound. I saw it with my eyes. Piteous course, a bloody, piteous course. Pale as ashes, unbedaubted blood.
Break my heart, poor bankrupt, break it once.
Tybalt, the best friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman. That ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead? My dearest cousin and my dear lord. If so, dreadful trumpet sound the general doom, for who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone. And Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Did alas the day it did.
Oh, serpent heart, hid with a flowering face. Beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, just opposite what thou justly seemest. A damned saint, an honorable villain. Oh, nature, what hast thou to do in hell when thou didst bower the spirit of a field in mortal paradise of such sweet flesh? Is every book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjurers, all forsworn, all knocked, all dissemblers. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is ashamed to sit. Oh, what a beast was I to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth a name when I, thy 3 hours' wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. My husband lives, that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt is dead, that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses on my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That banished, that one word banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. To speak of his father, mother, Romeo, Juliet, Tybalt, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, measure bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my father and mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears? Mine shall spend when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. I'll to my wedding bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maidenhead.
I to your chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark you, your Romeo will be here at night, all to him. He's hid at Lawrence's cell.
Oh, find him! Give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored to thy part, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet not know?
Too familiar is my good son with such sour company. I bring thee tiding of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips, not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? Be merciful, say death, for exile hath much more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Here from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, and hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and the world's exile is death. And banished is death mistermed. Calling death banished. Thou cutt'st off my head with a golden axe and smiles upon the stroke that murders me.
O deadly sin, O rude unthankfulness, thy fault our law calls death. But the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law and turned that blackward death into banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture, not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse and every unworthy thing may stay here in heaven and look upon her. But Romeo may not. Sayest thou yet that exile is not death? Hast thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no mean to death, no near so mean? How est thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend, to mangle me with that word banished?
O fond madman, hear me but speak a word.
Oh, I will speak again of banishment.
I'll give you armor to keep off that word, adversity, sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee though thou art banished.
Yet banished, hang up philosophy. Less philosophy, and make a Juliet. Displant a town, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not and it prevails not, so talk no more.
Oh, then I see that madmen have no ears.
Why should they, when wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou cannot speak of what thou dost not know. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me and like me banished, then thou might speak, then thou might tear thy hair, fall back into the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise. One knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself.
Not I, unless the breath of heart-sick groans mislike enfold me from the search of eyes.
Hark, how they knock! Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Wait a while. Run to my study, by and by. God's will, what simpleness is this? I come. Who knocks so hard? What's your will? Whence come of you?
Let me in, and you will know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome, then.
Oh, holy friar, oh tell me, holy friar, where is my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There, on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
He is even in my mistress's case, just in her case. Oh, woeful sympathy, piteous predicament. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up. Stand up. Stand and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand.
Nurse.
Sir, death's the end of all.
Speakest thou of Juliet? Doth not she think me an old murderer, now that I have stained the childhood of her joy with blood removed but little from her own? Where is she, and how doth she, and what say my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name shot from the deadly level of her gun did murder her. As if that cursed hand did slay her kingsman. Tell me, friar, in what vile part of this anatomy does that name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful man.
Hold thy desperate hand! Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art, yet thy tears are womanish. The wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Thou hast amazed me. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself and slay thy lady that in thy life lives by doing damned hate upon thyself? What roused thee, man? Juliet is alive.
for whose dear sake wast thou but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would slay thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatens death becomes thy friend and turns to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array. Yet like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou pouts for thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love as we decreed. Ascend hence to her chamber and comfort her. But stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live, till we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and return thee back with 1,000 times more joy than thou hast left in lamentation. Go before, nurse. Command me to thy lady. Bid her hasten all the house to bed, which sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming.
Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. What learning is. My lord, I will tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and prepare my suite to chide.
Here, sir. A ring she bid me give you, sir. You make haste, for it grows very late.
Oh, how well I am revived by this.
Go hence, good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day go hence. Sojourn in Mantua. 'Tis late. Farewell, good night.
But a joy past joy calls out to me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. I promise you, but for your company, I would have been abed an hour ago.
Times of woe for no times of too ill. Good night, madam. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her happiness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love, and I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris's love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday? Well, Wednesday is too soon. Thursday let it be. Thursday, she will be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two. For hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him carelessly, being our kinsman if we revel much. Therefore we'll have some 6 friends, and ne'er an end. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. Thursday be it then. Wife, go thou to Juliet ere you go to bed, and help prepare her up against this wedding day. For me, it is so very late that we may call it early, by and by. Good night.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yond pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn. No nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds of yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and Jacques stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Oh, the light is not daylight, I know it. It is some meteor that the sun exhaled to be to thee this night a torch-bearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore, stay yet. Thou needest not to be gone.
Let me be taken. Let me be put to death. I am content, so that will have it so. I'll say yon grey is not the morning's eye, but 'tis the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. Nor it is not the lark, whose notes beat the vaulty heaven high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death and welcome, Juliet, wills it so. I wish my soul. Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. I hence be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the lark and loathed toad changed eyes. Oh, now I would have they changed voices too, since arm from arm the voice doth us affray, hunting the hens with hunts up to the day. Oh, now, be gone. More light and light it grows.
More light and dark our woes.
Madam, nurse, your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look about. In window, let day in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell, one kiss and I'll ascend.
Art thou console? Love, Lord, thy husband, friend. I must hear from thee every day within the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity to convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not, and all our woes shall serve as sweet discourses in our times to come.
Oh God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinking I see me, now I am so low as one dead within the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou lookest pale.
Trust me, love, in my eyes, so do you. Try sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu, adieu.
Oh, fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Ho! Daughter, are you up? Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What? Wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, I cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weeps not so much for his death as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him. I do with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives?
Aye, madam, but from the reach of these my hands, none but I might venge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it. Fear thou not. But no, I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father-child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, that thou expects not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is this?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant young and noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
By St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray thee, tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he shall take it at your hands.
How now, a conduit girl? What, still in tears, evermore showering? How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you. Take me with you, wife. How she will none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed? Unworthy as she is that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bride.
What proud you have, but thankful you have. Proud I can never be of what I hate.
How? Chopped logic, what is this proud? And I thank you not, but yet not proud. Mistress minion you, thank me, no thankings, nor proud me, no prouds. But feedle your fine joints 'gainst Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church. Out, you green sickness carrion! Out, you baggage, you tallow face!
What? Are you mad? Father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch! I tell thee what, get thee to church, O Thursday, or never after look me in the face! Speak not, reply not, do not answer me! My fingers itch! Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. But now I see this one is one too much, and we have a curse in having her.
You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so?
And why, my lady wisdom? Hold your tongue.
I speak no treason.
Oh, God a good end!
May not one speak!
Peace, you mumbling fool!
Far too hot.
Bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play. Alone in company still, my care hath been to find her matched. And now providing such a worthy gentleman, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man. And to have a wretched, cooling fool answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you pardon me. But an you'll not wed, I'll pardon you. Praise where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it. I will not use to jest. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise. And you will be mine, I will give you to my friend. And you be not hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my soul I'll ne'er acknowledge thee. Nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, are not forsworn.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my life? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not make that bridal bed in that dim monument or Dibbledoff.
Look not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh, nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith is heaven. Alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy, some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing that he dares near come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as now it doth, I think it best you married with the county. He is a lovely gentleman. Romeo is a dishclout to him. An eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart, I think you are happy in the second match, for it excels your first. Or if it did not, your first is dead. And 'twere as good he were as being here and you no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrence's cell to make confession and to be absolved.
Mary, I will. And this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation. Oh, most wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him with above compare so many 1,000 times?
counsellor. Thou in my bosom henceforth shall be twain. To the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
Tomorrow, sir, the time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so. I have nothing to slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind, and even as the course, I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, therefore have I little talk of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, Father counts as dangerous, that you do give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom haste our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew it not why it should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady now to my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That maybe, must be, love, on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this, Father?
Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure, pensive daughter, serves me now. Sir, we must retreat this time. Alone.
Oh, God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, Thursday early I will rouse you. Till then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Shut the door! And when thou hast done so, come, weep with me, past hope, past care, past help.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next consent to marry that county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart in Romeo, thou our hands, and ere this hand be thee to Romeo sealed, shall be the label to another deed. Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart in Romeo, thou our hands, and ere this hand by thee to Romeo sealed shall be the label to another deed. Or my true heart with treacherous revolt shall turn to another, this shall slay them both. Oh, be not so long to speak. I long to die, if that thou speakest, speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope. If rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leap off the battlements of any tower rather than marry Paris. Or bid me go into a noon-made grave and hide me with a dead man in a shroud. Things that to hear them told have made me tremble. And I will do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my true love.
Go home. Be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not the nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being in thy bed, and let distilling liquor drink thou off. Thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor. No pulse shall show the native progress but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The rose from thy cheeks and thy lips shall fade, and in the borrowed likeness of this shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a present sleep. When the bridegrooms come to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a present sleep. When the bridegroom comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, in the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be born on that same ancient vault where all the kindred of Capulets lie. And in the meantime, Romeo, by my letters, shall know our drift, and he shall come, and he and I shall watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua, And this shall free thee from this present shame, if no inconstant toy nor womanish fear abate thy valor in thy acting it. Oh, give me, tell me not to fear. Hold, get you gone. I'll send a friar with my speed to Mantua to get the letters to thy lord. Love shall give me strength, and strength there shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
What, is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
Well, he may chance do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from, shrift with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you, henceforward I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell, and gave him what becometh love I might, not overstepping the bonds of modesty.
Why, I am glad on it. This is well. Stand up. Now afore God, this holy reverend friar, all our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you come with me into my closet and help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit are fit to furnish me for tomorrow?
No. Not till Thursday. There's time enough.
Oh, go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
Tush, I will stir about, and all things shall be well. I warrant thee, wife, go thou to Juliet, help to deck up her. I'll not to bed tonight, let me alone. I'll play the housewife for this once. What ho! They're all forth. Well, I'll walk myself to County Paris to help prepare him up against tomorrow. My heart is wondrous light since the same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Aye, those attires are best. But, gentle nurse, I pray you, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many horizons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which, well, thou knowest, is cross and full of sin.
What? Ho? Are you busy? Need you my help?
No, madam, we have called such necessaries as are behoovel for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, Vile. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. I shall forbid it. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? I fear it is. And yet, methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. What if, when I am lain into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I wake, shall I not distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and pluck the mangled tipple from his shroud, and in this rage with some great kinsman's bones, as with a club dash out my desperate brains? Oh, look. Methinks I see my cousin's ghost,
Seek not Romeo that did spite his battle. Upon a rapier's point, stay, Tybalt, stay! Romeo, you come. This do I drink to thee.
Mistress! What mistress? Juliet! Fast I warned her she... Why, lamb. Why, lady. Fie, you slug-a-bed. What? Not a word? You take your pennyworths now. For the next night, I warned the County Paris had set up his rest so that you should rest but little. God forgive me, merry are they men. How sound is she asleep? I needs must wake her. Madam, madam, madam. I dressed, and in your clothes, and down again. I needs must wake you. Lady. 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 Alas. Alas. Help! Help! My lady's dead! Oh, on the day that ever I was born, some opera vital! My lord, my lady!
What noise is here?
Oh, lamentable die!
What is the matter?
Look how heavy die! Help me! Help me! My child! My only life! Revive! Look outward! I will die! Help! Help! Go help!
For shame, bring Juliet forth, her lord is come.
She's dead. She's deceased. She's dead. Alack the day! She's dead!
Let me see her. Out, alack. She's cold, her blood is settled, and her joints are stiff. Life and these lips have long been separated. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower in all the fields.
Woeful death!
Death hath ta'en her ends to make me well, ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. O son, on the night before thy wedding day, death lies with thy wife. There she lies, flower as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law, death is my heir. My daughter he hath wedded. I will die and leave him all life, living, all his deaths.
I thought so long to see this morning's face. It doth give me such a sight as this.
One poor and loving child, but one thing to rejoice and solace in a cruel death of catched it from my sight.
Peace, ho, for shame! Confusion's cure lives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all is better for the maid. You could not keep your part in her from death. Heaven keeps its part in eternal life. Dry up your tears and stick your rosemary onto this course, and as the custom is, in her best array, bear her to church.
All things that we ordain festival turn from their office to black funeral, our instruments to melancholy bells, our wedding feast to a sad burial feast. All things change them to the contrary.
Sir, you go in, and madam, go with him, and go. Sir Paris, everyone prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave. The heavens lure upon you for some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams perceive some joyful news at hand. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream to give a dead man leave to think, but she breathed such life into me with kisses on my lips that I was revived and was an emperor. Ah, me. Was life so sweet when but love's shadows so rich in joy? He's from Verona. How now, Benvolio? How is my lady? Is my mother well? How doth my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she is well.
Then she is well and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it to you.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, Romeo, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some kind of misadventure.
Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee gone. I will be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. See for means. Oh, mischief, thou art cruel. Enter in the thoughts of desperate men. Do you remember an apothecary? Hereabouts he dwells, in tattered weeks with overwhelming brows, culling of simples, meager were her looks. Sharp misery had worn her to the bone. Noting this penury, I said to myself, and if a man did need poison, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lies the caitiff wretch who would sell it to him. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need. And this desperate man must sell it to me. So I remember, this should be the house. What ho, apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man, I see thou art poor. Hold, here is 40 ducats. Give me a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear, that will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Manto's law is death to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare and wretched and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheeks, contempt and beggary hangs on thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no opportunity to make thee rich. So be not poor, and break it, and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, not thy will. Come, cordial and not poison, for Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee.
Holy Franciscan Friar, brother ho! This same should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or, if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order to associate me, here in this city, visiting the sick, and in finding one, the searchers of the town, suspecting we were both in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the door and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua was stayed.
Who bore my letter, then, to Romeo?
Well, I could not send it. Here it is again. Nor get a messenger to bring it thee. So fearful they were of the infection.
Unhappy fortune. By my brotherhood, this letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence. Now must I to the monument alone. Within these 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua, and keep her at my cell until Romeo come.
Flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, well, thy canopy is dust and stones, with which sweet water nightly I will dew, wanting that tears to still by moans. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight, to cross my obsequies and true love's right? Oh, with the torch, muffle me night awhile.
Hold. Take this letter. Early in the morning, deliver it to my lord and mother. Give me the light, and do not interrupt me in my course.
I will be gone, cuz, and not trouble you.
So shalt show me friendship, Live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow.
This is that banished, haughty Montague, which murdered my love's cousin, which supposed that grief killed the fair creature. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
Indeed I shall, and therefore came I hither. Good, gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave. Think upon those gone. Let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Be gone.
I do defy thy conjurations and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Well, thou provoke me, and have at thee, boy.
I am slave. Be merciful. Open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
Faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kingsman, noble county Paris. Give me thy hand, one writ with me in sour misfortune's book. In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. Take my hand, one writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I will lay thee in a triumphant grave. Oh no. The lantern slaughtered youth for here lies Juliet. Her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence of light. Oh, my love, my wife. Thou had no power yet, thou art not conquered. Beauty's assigned yet as crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks. Oh, dear Juliet, why art thou so fair? Believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean, abhorrent monster keeps 77. There, here in the dark to be his paramour. For fear of that I will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here I will remain with the worms that are thy chambermaids. Here I will set up my everlasting rest and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, like your last. I must take your last embrace. And lips, the doors of breath seal with a righteous kiss. A dateless bargain of engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct, come, unsavory guide, thou desperate pilot! Now at once run the dashing rocks, thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick, as with a kiss. I die.
I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where's my Romeo? What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hands. Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. Oh, true, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth lean on them to help me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm. They're nice. Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. This is thy sheath. Fair rest and let me die.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning rest?
Severin, Here lies the canny Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Oh me! The sight of death is as a bell which warns my old age to a sepulchre. O thou untaught, what manners is in this, to press before thy mother to a grave?
Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge has laid upon your hate. The heavens finds means to kill your loves with joy, and I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
O Sister Montague, give me thy hand.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never of a story of more woe than that of Juliet and her Romeo.